It was a delight to wake up this morning to many, many emails from some of our friendly right-wingers in the audience saying, David, I knew it. A Democrat and his wife get indicted for bribery, and you are silent about it. You don't say a word because you cover for Democrats. Well, it turns out that this story broke late on Friday after we were done taping shows for the week. And then we don't do shows on weekends. And it is Monday, and I am doing the story. Now, I want to be super clear. I continue to be unclear as to how the audience wants me to say this name. We're talking about a congressman, a Democratic congressman. In Argentina, we would say his last name, Cuellar. In English, I try to anglicize it in a way that it would be understood. And when I say Congressman Henry Cuellar, people say, no, it's Cuellar. Or I'm getting corrected by people who don't even speak Spanish. So listen, the guy we're talking about, his last name is Cuellar. And if I pronounce it the way I would pronounce it in Argentinian Spanish, people say that's wrong. If I come up with a variety of anglicizations, people say that's wrong. So this is the guy we're talking about, okay? Indeed, he and his wife have been indicted, accused for taking bribes from Azerbaijan and a Mexican bank. He and his wife Imelda were indicted on Friday. He has denied the charges. It all looks pretty damn bad. As it says here, the Washington Post reports $600,000 in bribes from an oil company controlled by the Azerbaijani government and a bank headquartered in Mexico, according to the federal indictment. The couple is accused of setting up front companies that entered into sham contracts with the bank and the Azerbaijani government. The indictment said they have denied wrongdoing through their lawyer. There is a 54-page indictment. It is filled with details about what is described as a bold corruption scheme where the congressman allegedly promised to wield power to advocate for his benefactors. These are extraordinarily serious allegations. I want every conservative and left-winger, okay? Listen very carefully. I want every MAGA to open your eyes and your ears. Put on your listening ears, as they say to little kids. I want every single person who says I'm biased and I only report on Republican wrongdoing and support Republican indictments. Listen with extreme detail. The evidence seems to support the charges. So this is a situation where the charges make sense. And like Trump, they will get their day in court. The rules say he should step down from his subcommittee positions, so that's what he should do. What about innocent until proven guilty? He hasn't been convicted, but there are rules at businesses or in organizations like the House of Representatives. In certain situations, if you've been indicted, even though indictments are just allegations, the rules of the legislative body are you should step down. And so from what I'm reading, the rules are that he should step down from his committee positions. These are the rules. And so, as usual, the allegations that I'm hiding the stories of alleged Democratic wrongdoing, they aren't true. It is true that I don't do shows on Saturdays and Sundays. Most shows don't. Most shows are, once a week or 5 times a week, weekends only, weekdays only. Okay, I'm not hiding anything. And by the way, I never do. When it was Anthony Weiner involved in the sexting scandal, nobody that I knew on the left was defending the guy. We certainly weren't. When it was Congressman William Jefferson found with $10,000 in his freezer. Remember that story? That's an older story. It was like from the beginning of the David Pakman show. $10,000 in his freezer, a Democrat, very, very caught quite literally red-handed, didn't defend it. So whatever allegation you think supports the idea that I only support the indictment of Trump because of partisan bias and I hide and cover up with Biden, as I've said, bring me a shred of evidence that he did any of the things people are saying he did, and I will be right here with you saying, hey, it looks like he did something pretty bad. There is no evidence to date that has been presented. Oh, but he got money from his brother. And so, okay, and what's the crime? What's the wrongdoing? What evidence do you have of that? In this case, there is evidence, and it is a very serious indictment. And like Trump, like Weiner, like whoever, they all should get due process. They all should get their days in court. Nobody on this program has been saying lock up whoever. We're not saying lock up Trump. We are saying if the evidence supports indictments, do the indictment. And then if you have a guilty verdict, sentence in accordance with the law and sentencing guidelines. So I wasn't hiding the story. It was a weekend. That's where we are right now. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.